We owe it all to Andy Warhol and to Anita Bryant.
Hello and welcome to the Tour Project. I'm Project Manager Eric Solomon. For this stop on the tour, navigate to 306 Ponce de Leon Avenue Northeast, Atlanta, Georgia, 30308. This will always be, the site of the Atlanta Eagle. I encourage you to check out Charlie Payne's essay about the Atlanta Eagle in Gay Atlanta Flashback, from which much of this information has been taken. The structure at 306 Ponce de Leon Avenue was first a home. Then, in 1949, it welcomed its first commercial tenant, the Capri Italian restaurant. In the early 1980s, it became the Celebrity Club, and then it became Renegade Saloon, and finally, the Eagle. As the Atlanta Eagle's website states, since its opening, the Atlanta Eagle has been Atlanta's premier leather Levi bar, known for the cutting-edge music, DJs, and dance floor. If you're looking for a place that has it all, including a voluntary no indoor smoking policy, the Atlanta Eagle has your party night mapped. Whether you're looking for hot leather men, guys in rubber or gear, hot bears and cubs, or just the best Atlanta has to offer in masculinity period, you'll find it within these walls. Or, as Dave Hayward likes to say,
different strokes for different folks, whatever floats your boat.
Though the Eagle closed in October of 2020, Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom designated the Eagle a historic landmark in December of 2020. Richard Eldridge writes for Atlanta Magazine in August of 2021 that Atlanta's zoning review board, approved an ordinance in spring of 2021, making the Atlanta Eagle the city's first designated historic landmark dedicated to LGBTQ+ history. In the space's brief mid-1980s incarnation as the Celebrity Club, it hosted shows featuring a young RuPaul. Perhaps more notoriously during its run as the Atlanta Eagle, a gay leather bar from 1987 to 2020, the Night Spot made headlines for a botched 2009 police raid, where members of the Vice Squad, the Red Dog Unit, looking for illegal drug use and acts of public sex, yelled anti-gay slurs and handcuffed patrons and employees face down on the bar floor. In the years following, after a federal lawsuit alleging civil rights violations and a $1 million plus settlement, the disbanding of the Atlanta Police Department's Red Dog Unit, and multiple officer firings, the APD has sought to repair relationships with the city's LGBTQ+ community, including the hiring of an LGBTQ+ community liaison. Though it has been designated by the city's zoning review board as a historic landmark, the fate of the Eagle at the structure at 306 Ponce de Leon Avenue remains unclear as of September 2021. Here's Dave Hayward with more about the Atlanta Eagle and the 2009 raid.
So the former site of the Eagle Bar at Ponce de Leon Avenue and Argonne Way, as I said earlier, the Texas Drilling Company relocated to the site of the Eagle at Ponce and Argonne, and was very much a leather bar, a Levi bar, and was the site of a raid on September 10th, 2009. My understanding is that there was a woman who was a neighbor who lived in the area that didn't like the fact that this was a gay man's bar, especially attracting people into leather and Levi and things like that. And there was a back room at the Eagle where people could congregate late at night. And she was objecting to the fact that there was a back room and men were getting together, meeting up in the back room. And so there was a special unit of the Atlanta Police Department called the Red Dog Unit. And this was under former Mayor Shirley Franklin. And they raided the Eagle Bar the evening of September 10th, 2009. And the back room did not really start being populated and men congregating there until late in the evening. And apparently the police raided the bar about 9 o'clock, too early for the back room. But they harassed the patrons. There was a friend of mine, Tom Hayes, who happened to be at the bar that evening, an elderly man who was forced to the floor. And they pushed some of the other people, all the other patrons, to the floor, harassed them, called them names, and searched them. And of course, that violates the Fourth Amendment, a reasonable search and seizure. And then there were some go-go boys who were there, who were also arrested, and the manager of the bar. And I want to give props to attorney Dan Grossman, who ended up representing the plaintiffs in that raid. And the city of Atlanta ended up paying over like about, I think it's $1.25 to the people who were arrested in that bar. And when we talk about this, that was one of the realities that you always knew when you were going out to bars and gay places, that was always a possibility, that you could always be harassed and that you might actually be arrested just for being in the bar, just for going there, which was the case of the Eagle. That was really a turning point in terms of the evolution of the community. The Red Dog Unit was disbanded as a result of the raid, and it definitely left a real black mark on Mayor Shirley Franklin and her administration. And people still reference the Eagle in terms of saying, okay, we want to make sure that nothing like that happens again. And that we don't. A lot of that is basically LGBTQ people stepping forward and claiming our rights and our freedoms and our full citizenship, and being free of undue harassment and violation of ourselves. So, as a result of that raid, there was a huge demonstration at the Eagle about a week later, and it really was a real galvanizing point for the community, a real rallying cry and rallying point for the community. It led to a lot of activism, and then we had some real vociferous community meetings. I recall being at a community meeting where Attorney Dan Grossman and Mayor Kasim Reed really got into it with each other over the Eagle raid. And Mayor Reed saying, well, that didn't happen when I was mayor. That did not happen under my watch. But Dan Grossman really pressing Mayor Reed and others to make reparations. Because before there had been raids in Atlanta where people might be, for example, I mean, what we're talking about with the Atlanta Public Library, nobody got paid any reparations. So that was a real turning point in terms of you cannot just do these things and get away with them scot-free.
Thank you for joining us on this stop of the Tour Project. For more information, visit tourqueeratlanta.org. That's TUOR queeratlanta.org.